It's not easy becoming a unicorn company in India. And even if you manage to become one, you are either outsmarted by your competitors older to you or are outgunned in terms of financial resources by the giant conglomerates looking to eat you and your business model up. And that is exactly where Lenskart came in with its innovative strategies and its passion for changing the eyewear market in India and reverse the tables on the competitors older to it in the industry like Titan. When Lenskart today holds a market share of 25%, Titan is holding on just sub 5% levels. When total sales of Lenskart in 2020 was over 1000 crores, Titan Eye Plus was struggling with rupees 544 crores, where Lenskart grew with a 100% growth rate on a year-on-year basis. Titan Eye Plus grew with a mere 6%. And the cherry on the cake is that Lenskart achieved all this by not only implementing and innovating upon the strategies which Tata Group has been using all along, rather the company in its initial days was nurtured, nourished and even funded by the Tatas. So in today's episode, let's deep dive, analyze and study the intricacies of how Lenskart beat Tatas at their own game and how the company managed to revolutionize the eyewear industry in India and became a force to reckon with. Chapter 1. The Playbook of Business. Alright, so we mentioned before that Lenskart has been taking cues from Tata's Playbook of Business. But what do we mean by this exactly? Well, you see people, Titan Eye Plus is a sub-brand under the umbrella brand of Titan. So Titan Eye Plus can be said to be a sibling to Tanishq, which also falls under Titan's umbrella. So being a Tata brand, it's obvious that the great Ratan Tata had his expertise behind Tanishq's success and was now backing Titan Eye Plus as well. But the not obvious part, which brings a twist in the tale, is that Lenskart in its initial days were not only supported and mentored, rather financed by Ratan Tata as well. Why Ratan Tata decided to back one of his firm's competitors is though a mystery even today. Okay, so Lenskart now had Ratan Tata helping them get on their feet. And as a result, Piyush Bansal, in the process of figuring out Tanishq's strategy, starts realizing the similarities between jewelry and eyewear, which provides him a perfect roadmap and vision, which he uses to innovate on top of, to make it even more comprehensive, foolproof and cutting edge. But how exactly did Tanishq's strategies and the product similarities bring the disruptive vision to Lenskart? Firstly, he realized that just like jewelry requires form fitting and adaptability to a particular customer, eyewear also requires the same. In addition to this, both the products also included technical criticalities in terms of purity and precision, which meant that just like Tanishq, Lenskart would have to have a model with physical presence embedded in it, so that people could experience the product before purchasing. But Mr. Bansal at this time was also aware of the fact that in order to scale up and differentiate Lenskart from its unorganized players out in the market as well as Titan Eye Plus, he would need to have a model which would provide a holistic experience. And thus, innovating upon Tanishq's successful retailing strategy, he built his own Omnichannel business model network, which made Lenskart the undisputed eyewear champion. But I'm getting ahead of myself here, and we will discuss this later in the episode. Secondly, Tanishq was a jewelry brand aimed primarily at higher class and middle class customers. So having a big range of expertly crafted and definitive complex designs was a strong suit of the company. But even then, Tanishq introduced a range of products which suited the differentiating demands and varying needs among different class of customers. This made Tanishq a go-to brand for a variety of jewelry requirements. And thus, as a result, Lenskart also started growing its catalog of frames and lenses and today offers thousands of products to choose from a gargantuan catalog which has an eyewear hidden somewhere for everyone. Thirdly, while Tanishq was offering quite expensive and high-tier products which offered premium quality, the company also tried to balance the pricing of its low-tier products since there are more audience affinity towards it. The company adopted a slew of strategies for this, such as simpler designs with affordable price tag, meant to cater housewives. This, along with trust factor it has already established, brought Tanishq the success it was seeking. This led to Lenskart implementing the same strategy by offering high-end products like Tommy Hilfiger, followed by their own tier products with brand names like John Jacobs, and ultimately affordable range of products manufactured by the company themselves. So now if we follow this on a timeline to get a more clear picture of events, starting off, Lenskart onboards Ratan Tata as an investor and mentor and learns from the guru to pay close attention to solving a problem instead of building a business. Then Lenskart identifies a perfect business model and strategy to follow up and innovate, which includes the Omnichannel Strategy. But this is then followed up with a big problem statement as an hurdle in the third phase. But what exactly is this problem and how did Lenskart manage to solve it? You see, people in India treat eyewear either as a medical solution or as an accessory, with the accessory part holding lower weightage. And among the people who actually required vision correction and because of which need to visit the doctor, majority of these people went through a phenomenon known as buyer resistance. Under buyer resistance, people don't want to go through the hassle of finding a doctor first, then visiting the doctor, and then visiting the retail store for another tedious process of choosing the perfect spectacles, and then waiting to come back to collect the spectacles once they are ready. And that's when Lenskart identified this as a perfect opportunity to step in and disrupt the market. Lenskart did what no one in the eyewear industry was doing, neither the unorganized players and especially not Titan Eye Plus. Lenskart had actually worked the problem statement backward in order to identify this buyer resistance and then worked to solve this problem by introducing the Home Eye Checkup program. Under the program, Lenskart provided the facility to register online for a home eye test. And Lenskart optometrist turned up with a test kit and guided for selection of frame on the app while also directing the customer to the nearest Lenskart retail store to check for fit and receive the delivery of the product, thereby streamlining the whole process and as a result, eradicating buyer resistance. Now if you analyze closely, what Piyush Bansal and Lenskart basically did was to actually learn from Ratan Tata's entrepreneurial and guidance, and in the learning process, moving forward with making use of Tanishq's successful and credible strategies, or in other words, they went by Tata's Playbook of Business to establish their foundations, because of which they were able to evolve into a more disruptive organization and leaving behind Titan in the competition by miles. Chapter 2: The Omnichannel Strategy. Now coming back to our timeline, we see that post the learning and investing phase, Lenskart developed a holistic omni-channel strategy to revolve around its customers. But to understand the omni-channel strategy, we need to ask ourselves, how does omni-channel differ from multi-channel and cross-channel, and why Lenskart adopted this particular model only? You see, every business has its own degree of interaction which it can offer to its customers. To put more simply, every business is not adept enough to offer highest degree of interaction and accessibility due to the criticality of the business. Let's understand this more clearly with the help of an explainer. Let's say Mr. Bolt decides to buy a pair of shoes. So he has two options. He can either buy the shoe from Nike's website, which is channel number 1 for the company, or he can visit the retail store to buy it, which is channel number 2. So thinking about the comfort of ordering from home itself, he buys a pair of shoes online from Nike's website. Now as soon as the product is delivered, Mr. Bolt does not like the comfort of the shoe. So he decides to return it, since now he anyways has to go to the Nike store to try another pair. He decided to return it at the store itself. Also, in order to save time, he also selects the shoe from the website itself, which he will try at the store. But as soon as he reaches the store tells him that they cannot accept the return of the shoe because it was ordered from an online channel and he will have to return it online itself. And to make matters worse, they also inform him that since the online catalog and store inventory are not synced to each other, they do not have the pair which Mr. Bolt wanted to try. So although the company in this case is offering multiple channels, however, there is no integration between the channels, and user cannot trigger interaction which was returning the product in this case. And this is the multi-channel retail model for you. Now in another case, Mr. Tusk is a wealthy businessman and wants to book a chartered plane. So when he searches online for the plane via the app, the website or via telephone, he isn't able to find any. So he calls up at the airport desk helpline and inquires about the flight. The staff at the airport then tells him that since it is a niche product, it cannot be booked via any other offered channel except for airport desk itself. Although since the data from all other channels about other flights is fully integrated, he can book a business class seat in a normal flight. So in this particular case, there is partial integration of information between all the available channels and also partial interaction possible at the user's end. This is known as the cross-channel retail model. But now in the case of Lenskart, let's say Babu Bhaiya wants to get his vision corrected. So he opens the Lenskart app and sees the option to book an optometrist appointment who comes over, tests his vision and then guides him to select the suitable lenses according to his own budget specifications from the huge online catalog. Once Babu Bhaiya is done with choosing his lenses and his frames online, he recalls that the retail store nearest to him has his fitting dimensions stored and thus places the order for the store to deliver it directly to Babu Bhaiya without any hassle or stepping out of his home. So if you analyze here, all the information across all the channels was fully integrated here, with the user having complete interaction power, thereby making the omni-channel model a champion for Lenskart. And this is how Lenskart combined the best of both worlds and offered customers the option to either shop online or shop at the retail store, which offered three major advantages. Number one, as more and more customers opted to pick up lenses from the store after confirming fit and size, it helped Lenskart reduce the returns of the eyewear being sold, thereby increasing the revenue. Number two, users get to choose from a massive online catalog of options from the comfort of their home according to their own budget needs. And number three, repeat customers increase since data for these customers is saved at the nearest retail store, who can offer them hassle-free experience as they saw in Babu Bhaiya's case. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, Lenskart has not only adopted the omni-channel retail model approach, rather revolutionized it like no other company in India. On to chapter 3, the Profitability Deliverance. Moving along our timeline, we've covered both Omnichannel Strategy and how Lenskart solved the buyer's resistance problem. So in the next phase, let's discuss if the company was able to achieve its objective of turning profitable. You see, from an investor's point of view, we already know that the company has been increasing its revenues year on year. But the major achievement came when the firm turned profitable in the era of the unicorns, who although earn billions in valuations, however remain drowned in losses. But what's even more special about Lenskart is that the firm has been able to achieve profitability not at the expense of its customers, rather only because the firm has been able to become customer-centric. It has been able to provide better cost-friendly products, which has enabled it to turn profitable. But how has the firm achieved all this? How was it able to turn profitable while satisfying its customers? Well, the answer to this question actually lies in the backward integration model approach. Backward integration is a part of vertical integration approach, which we discussed in our previous decathlon video as well. So you can check out the video from the link below if you want an in-depth understanding of the concept. Now in a regular supply chain, there are middle players as seen here. But Lenskart slowly and steadily kept adopting backward integration to set up its own manufacturing plants, because of which it was able to reduce its dependency on its Chinese partners, thus saving cost while providing quality but affordable products to its customers. And this is clearly evident from this chart here, which depicts the company's reduced spending on finished products coming down from 90 crores in FY20 to 68 crores in FY21. This, coupled with company's prudent investing in other lucrative ventures, have contributed to more than 127 crores in non-operating income, and as a result, helping the company to turn profitable with even bigger margins than previous year. So Lenskart has not only been able to work as a company dedicated towards solving the issue of vision correction in India, rather a benchmark to other firms as well, who could take cues from not only Lenskart's ardent approach to cut down costs but invest wisely as well, while simultaneously growing the technological capabilities of the firm to remain a leader in its domain. And that was the episode, ladies and gentlemen. If you liked it, do hit that like button below and subscribe to the channel for more such enriching content. I'll see you all in the next episode. Mindfulness signing off.